My friends, what is going on? Let's jump right into the video today. Today we are going to be discussing APE and whether or not it is a good time to buy it, sell it, hold it, whatever. Before we get started with the video, everything I'm giving you is just my opinion on the matter. Nothing is financial advice. I am a huge believer in doing what is best for you and yourself and your family and your portfolio. Always. Don't just listen to me. Don't listen to anybody else on the internet or Twitter or anything like that. Do your own research. Come up with enough information. That way you can make an informed decision and you can do what is best for you. If you haven't done so already, please follow me on Twitter, Colin_Gladman. If you're new to the channel, please do all the YouTube things, like and subscribe, all that good stuff. I really appreciate your time. So having said that, let's jump into it. So let me start by saying that I am a believer in holding on to my APE and, in fact, even purchasing more of APE. Now, it's recently come out, there's several, YouTubers, influencers, whatever you want to describe them as, who are saying it's, you just need to dump APE because you're going to get diluted, everything along those lines. The people that are acting ridiculous about it and like, oh, APE's a piece of shit, no, all that kind of stuff, as far as I'm concerned, I just immediately dismiss people like that. If you're not willing to have a logical conversation, you are not someone that I am willing to even listen to. So that's my opinion on that. I will say this, Wrench Capital came out with a video, and it by far and away makes the most sense. So if you're on the fence and you want to hear, both sides of the argument, I highly recommend watching all of Trey's trade stuff. He and I have talked at length about this and our opinions on it. And I also recommend, hear the other side of the argument. Watch and listen to Wrench Capital's video because he does make some compelling points. However, at the end of the day, I still disagree with them. But like I've said many times, what a boring world if we all agree on the exact same, way to skin a cat, so to speak. I think the best ideas always come from, people who are willing to put their heads together, who are willing to come to the table, lay out the goods and the bads, play devil's advocate. That's how proper solutions are formed, in my opinion, okay? Which is what this video is about. It's my opinion. So let me start by saying, number one, that my opinion, your opinion, all of our opinions, none of it is a fact. Everybody can have opinion on how to, handle the situation, but none of it is a fact. What is a fact is AMC is burning cash. That leads me to point number two. So point number one, your opinion is not a fact. I think it's valid because it is your opinion, but that's where it ends, okay? Your opinion does not mean your opinion is not valid to me, just like my opinion may not be valid to you. So we're all talking in opinions here. Number two, AMC needs capital. They are burning cash. One of my favorite sayings in business is numbers don't lie. People do. Okay, you can look at the numbers, you can pull up an AMC balance sheet. They are burning cash. They had like 1.8 billion in December of last year. They're down to 1 billion now. They are burning cash, and they're not burning cash. Some of it is definitely going to be, from mergers and acquisitions and things of that nature. But a lot of that, in my opinion, is going to be the massive amount of debt that they have. So, in my opinion, APE was created for the shareholders. In my opinion, Adam Aaron has come out and publicly said the AMC Board of Directors had publicly asked for more shares. The shareholder base has refused. So to me, this was a creative way to get around that, but also giving back to the shareholders that have obviously saved the company. Through Adam Aaron's own admission, retail came in and saved AMC from bankruptcy back in January of 2021. So doing so in creating APE, they created a share count, they created a dividend, which people were asking for, but what they also tied to it was they tied to it a vehicle for raising capital. And what this did was it allowed AMC, the company, not to be held hostage by retail. They've come out several times before. They've asked for more shares. Retail has refused because the more you dilute it, definitely the lower your numbers are going to get on a squeeze potential. And there's a lot of people in this play that are purely here for a squeeze. And I am not knocking that, okay? Once again, what you do with your money is your decision. So for people who purely, are all about a squeeze or anything like that, I totally understand where the upset aspect of it of, dude, this guy's going to come out and dump shares on us. But Adam Aron's job is to run AMC, the company, the fundamental aspect of things, as best he can. And to do that, he needs to be able to raise capital. Now, in theory, AMC and APE essentially acted like a 2-to-1 stock split. So there was, I'm not going to give you the exact number. I did that in several other videos. But essentially there's 516 million shares of AMC. Now there's 516 million shares of APE. So in a true 2-to-1 split, then in theory, AMC and APE should be the same price. If you didn't see it already, there was an interview that came out with Jim Chanos that he's talking about how he's actually short on AMC, but he was long on APE, and it was because he was like, I believe there's upside with APE, and I believe there's downside with AMC. Essentially, kind of talking about that where they should be, kind of similar in price. So some of the benefits to me is, in theory, there should be less manipulation involved with the APE shares because it doesn't have an option chain attached to it. Now, what have we seen? Well, we've seen a couple of days now. I don't even know how many times it's been halted. I think it's like around 13 to 15 times APE has been halted in the past 2 days on the New York Stock Exchange. Now, here's my theory on this, okay? And full disclosure, I talked to Trace Trades about it, where I told him that my theory is right now they're kind of holding APE down. And the reason is because the brokers are not delivering all the shares yet. So I know I've seen a bunch of people overseas talking about how they haven't gotten shares. I know people through like Cash App, things of that nature, haven't gotten shares. I've gotten all of my APE shares through Fidelity. But I know there's definitely people that are out there that haven't gotten shares. And if this thing really started skyrocketing and people didn't have their shares, if they weren't able to sell them if they so choose to, that would just be a cluster, what involved. So in my opinion, they're having to settle out the option chain. They're having to settle out, where all the shares need to go. Some people in my Discord who sold like some cash secured puts who got assigned, their APE shares weren't showing up until like today, things of that nature. So this is a little tinfoil hat. My theory is that the reason we're not seeing APE run as much and the reason all these halts are coming in, yes, I know that there are rules out there. Like I said, this is pure speculation on my part. I want to be completely clear about that. But I think the reason we're not allowing to see the big volatile swings like what we hope for is going to be the fact that all the shares have not rolled out yet. So in theory, we should be able to see true supply and demand when it comes to the APE stock because it's not manipulated as much through the option chain. That's where synthetics come from. Synthetics are come, through the option chain. And AMC is a very perma-bear stock. I've talked about this several times before. I've never believed necessarily in a MOAS exactly. Always happy to be wrong on that. What I have believed in is more kind of those cyclical style moves when it comes to stocks like what you see with Tesla. Tesla is a very volatile stock that you see these big gamma ramps to the upside, then you get these big drastic pullbacks, so on and so forth. And it's because there's people, and I'm one of them. There's people that are just die-hard Tesla people. They want shares. They believe in the company. Mine is not as much in Tesla, the car company, as much as it is in Elon Musk and the fact that I think he's a brilliant inventor. Not getting into that in this video, but the idea is the same. So you got perma bulls that are just like, Tesla is the greatest thing ever, Elon is God, okay? And then you got the perma bears. There's literally like a short ETF for Tesla. There's people that just hate Tesla, talk about how it should be $100 a share. And AMC is the exact same way. You got the people who think it should be a penny, and you got the people who think it, should be in the thousands of cost, thousands per share. So you've got a constant perma bull, perma bears. And where you see the big moves in is when you get more people behind the perma bull. thesis. Right now, there's more people behind the perma bear thesis because, like I said, a lot of these people, they're pulling up AMC's balance sheet and going, dude, these dudes are just burning through cash. They don't start getting cash flow positive, before too long, here in the next 12 months, they're going to be staring at bankruptcy. Now, I don't believe that is the case, okay? But I think APE is an important part of that. Now, once again, if you go over and you watch Wrench Capital's video, which I highly recommend doing that, I'm not going to go over everything, but he basically is saying that everybody should dump APE because then you're going to have momentum traders, people who find value in it because he believes that there is value attached to it. And like I said, he does a great job laying out his thesis. I don't agree with it. I think it's better if we hold on to our shares because we controlled AMC before. That means when APE rolled out, you've got the same controlling interest there. So, voting rights matter, things of that nature when it comes to conversion of APE into AMC. So if you want to protect AMC's float as the potential squeeze play, then you don't want a bunch of those APE shares getting converted over into AMC. Now, another good thing about this is if AMC is able to use the capital that they raise through APE, right now, all we're hearing about is how awful other theater chains are doing. And so the competition is failing. And so AMC really has the opportunity. Adam Aaron came out and said, our competition is releasing statements about how terrible business is. We feel the exact opposite. We feel like we're only going to be doing better. So they might have the opportunity to go into some of those failing theaters or theater chains and really snatch up some of their best locations. I would love to see that. I would love to see, essentially an AMC monopoly. Selfishly, I would like a AMC around me. I single-handedly could keep that one in business. There's going to be some opportunities to seize upon the competition dwindling and failing. Now, here's the bad part. In my opinion, you absolutely 100% guaranteed are going to be diluted at some point when it comes to APE. I highly recommend do not lie to yourself and say, oh, well, they have those 484 million other shares, but Adam loves me. He's not going to do that to me. Adam loves you, the shareholder, but he also is going to do what's best for AMC first. And if that means dumping a whole bunch of shares on the top of your head to make sure that AMC survives, guess what he's going to do? You're going to be getting diluted. All right? That is my personal opinion on the deal. 100% think dilution is going to come to AMC. Not AMC, to APE. So here's what we want to see. Okay? Once everything gets sorted out with the option chain, then what we want to see is I want to see an APE run. Okay? I would like to see some good positive momentum when they get the option chains all taken care of. Everybody's, gotten their shares. The dust is going to settle. In my opinion, that could take the rest of this week, potentially even next week, before we really start to see, good, solid supply and demand coming into APE and AMC. Now, what would be great is, so once again, in theory, they should be the same price. What would be great, in my opinion, is if AMC stays, relatively the same price with maybe a little bit of rise, it's kind of the overall market changes, but APE really gets to go on a run because it's not going to be as manipulated through the option chain. Now, once again, this is where people are going to be like, but the halts, man, the halts are killing us. I have tweeted out multiple times my exact thoughts about halts, okay? Please feel free to go check my Twitter feed. It's been posted about 10 times in the last 2 days. So I think halts are complete BS, and what I want to see is I want to see true supply and demand. Even if it gets halted, I want to still see that buying pressure come in. Now, once that buying pressure comes in, then that is when you got to be on red alert. If APE goes on a run, just anticipate, be okay with shares getting dumped on you, and be thankful if they're not. Okay, so that's the way I like to approach things. I always like to approach things from let's plan for the worst case scenario, but let's expect the best. However, I don't even want that. I want to see APE go on a nice little run, and then I want to see them dilute it, and then I want them to eliminate some of AMC's high interest debt. Now, full disclosure before I jump into the next thing, I am a anti-debt guy. Okay, my business runs on zero debt. I run my personal lifestyle on zero debt. I hate interest. Banks make me mad. You go around town, you look at the biggest, nicest, tallest, most beautiful buildings in your city, and 99.9% of the time they are going to be banks. And it's because interest is stealing from your future. It is stealing from the things that you could do with your money. So I'm not. Yes, I understand that there is debt that makes sense. Yes, I understand that there's times where businesses need to take on debt. However, AMC does not have good debt. What they have, the debt that they have is going to be bad debt that they took on to survive COVID. And I am not hating on that at all. But what I would like to see is I would like to see a more focused effort on taking care of said debt. Now, once again, you don't have to agree with me that the debt is bad. Okay, you can run up all the credit card bills that you want. You can cash out, refi your mortgage. You can do all that stuff if you want to. Okay, but once again, numbers don't lie. People do. So having said that, I want to see AMC eliminate some of that debt. So that way, it's the way I approach my monthly budget. When I'm talking with my wife, a budget rather than wondering where our money went, a budget tells it where to go. Okay, so rather than getting to the end of the month and going, dude, where'd all this money go? Every single month you're able to start with a budget. I would like to see AMC start each month going, what do we want to do with all this money? Rather than going, okay, this money's got to go here. This high interest rate over here. This high interest rate over here. I want to see AMC get out of debt, and that is going to drive these shorts out. The reason it's easy to be short and have a negative outlook on AMC, especially if you are a fundamental investor, is you can look at it and go, dude, this thing's like 12 to 18 months from, going out of business. They're negative cash flow. They have $5 billion in debt. The box office still isn't recovering. But that's not the way we view it, okay? And once again, large majority are in it for a squeeze, and you're more likely to see a squeeze, in my opinion, the more shored up the fundamentals are for AMC, okay? So in conclusion of this video, number one, nobody knows how this is going to play out, including me, okay? I always give you guys my most likely outcome, and that is how I make my decisions, is what do I think is the most likely thing that's going to happen. So to me, the most likely thing that is going to happen is we get to see a rise in ape price, then we're going to see dilution, then we are going to, see that AMC is going to be able to survive the future because they're going to be able to raise a bunch of capital, therefore driving the shorts out. Therefore, the AMC price is going to raise at that point in time. Now, what I would really like to see is eventually I would like to see Ape being tied to maybe some future businesses. Obviously, they got the popcorn that's going to be rolling out. Adam Aaron tweeted about it today. He went to like some taste testing thing, and potentially in 2023, that is going to be when they start rolling out the popcorn. Who knows if it might be something to do, with the credit card. An Ape credit card makes a lot of sense to me. So I definitely think there is a possibility for Ape to be tied to future businesses. What I don't want to see, I would like to see Ape potentially being tied to other businesses and kind of standing on its own. I don't want to see Ape shares converted over into AMC shares. That is just my personal preference, okay? I want to see the shorts driven out of AMC's stock price so we can... like I said, we can really see what true market value is going to be. And in my opinion, Ape gives us the best chance of doing that. So in my opinion, Adam Aaron's goal is I'm going to use Ape to shore up the fundamentals of AMC, therefore drive out of the shorts, out of the stock. Therefore, I give my shareholders benefit by a rising stock value because I have eliminated the short thesis. That's what I believe Adam Aaron's plan is, and it's a plan to me at this point in time. The reality is, guys, let's be honest with ourselves. You ain't getting any enforcement. Gary Gensler ain't doing jack crap. The DTCC ain't doing jack crap. None of these rules about, short sellers or synthetics or anything like that, none of that is getting enforced right now. So our best opportunity is to go with the plan that we know we can execute. And what we know we can execute is APE rising in price, them diluting it, therefore raising a bunch of capital for AMC, therefore driving out the short interest. And at the end of the day, I think the biggest thing you need to ask yourself is, do you trust Adam Aron? Okay. Now, at the end of the day, the old saying, I trust two people on this planet. One of them's me, the other isn't you. Okay. So when I say trust, I'm talking about not necessarily like, do I trust AA directly? It's more of a, do I trust that AA is going to be a good steward of the capital that is raised? Is he going to make wise decisions for AMC? And I believe that answer is unequivocally yes. Let me say that again. I believe that answer is unequivocally yes. Adam Aron has never done anything, in my opinion, to harm the business of AMC or not act in his full, fiduciary powers that be, that he is doing what is best for AMC. Now, here's where the argument is going to come up of, well, he sold shares in November, and he 100% told you that was coming. You had 6 months in advance. If you didn't like it, you could have gotten out then. So I really don't like that argument. And by don't like it, I mean it holds zero weight, in my opinion. If you didn't like it, you could have gotten out. So I trust that Adam Aron is going to do what's best for AMC, which means I think we're going to see a dilution of APE. My biggest hope is it doesn't come quickly. It doesn't come until APE has really had a chance to, see good supply and demand and has a really good chance of actually going on a run. And then you and me and Adam Aron, we can all decide what we want to do with our portfolios. But don't kid yourself. There's 484 million shares of APE at any point in time they can issue whenever they want to. I think that's going to happen, but I also think it's going to be in the best interest of AMC. So I don't think all of retail selling their APE and having APE price crash, and then hoping, like Wrench Capital talked about, and then hoping that institutions and momentum traders and everything like that come in and save the day. I don't think it's going to be wise to hope that other people pay AMC's bills. Okay? In my opinion, the most likely outcome is retail holding and continuing to buy more. And I don't buy the argument that, well, I'm just going to buy AMC now. Nobody's going to buy APE. All I see is people buying APE. And I also see a lot of people questioning APE. So there's no doubt in my mind that we are at a pivotal moment where people are trying to decide, what they're going to do. My DMs are full of people scared, and I get it. Okay? That's why it's important not to over leverage yourself, but also to, this is where I always go back to investing in what you believe in. Like Trey mentioned us talking about in his video. I am super passionate about movie theaters and the experience of movie theaters. I don't want that to go away. So yes, I am in AMC for a squeeze play. Okay? I would not be putting my money in AMC if I didn't think or hope that I was going to be getting some upside out of it. However, I'm also very passionate about just movie theater business as a whole. So I totally get if you're in it from a pure squeeze play. This is very unsettling times for you. I totally get that. That is not me. Okay? I am in it for a squeeze play, but I also love movies. I want to see theaters continue. I want to see AMC dominate the market. I think they have a great brand. I think they have a great leader, and that is my stance, okay? And that is my stance, and that is my opinion. So to sum up everything, your opinion is not a fact. My opinion is not a fact. However, anybody that's just out there, throwing outlandish things around, APE's, piece of shit, it's going to zero or anything like that, as far as I'm concerned, dismiss those people immediately. Highly recommend going and watching Wrench Capital's video if you want to hear the other side of the argument. APE was created for a share count. It was a dividend. It was Adam Aron's way of giving back to us, but also making sure that AMC wouldn't be held hostage. I believe that AMC and APE, in theory, should be one for one. And in theory, we should see less manipulation coming through APE. Now, once again, I'm not judging how APE's going to turn out based on these first couple of days. It has been a complete, shit show as far as it rolling out and, all these brokers and issues and option chain and everything like that. I think we all need to give it time to settle in and really give it an opportunity to go, what is the real future of this product, okay? Once again, AMC is always going to be a perma-bull, perma-bear stock. We need more perma-bulls on our side than we need perma-bears against us. I have the personal opinion that I do not like debt. I do not like high interest payments. I do not like a lot of the debt that AMC is carrying. They are burning cash. I want them to get that eliminated. The competition is failing. We're going to have a lot of opportunities to pounce on competition. I want there to be free cash flow to pounce when it makes sense. And you can't do that if you're sending money off to interest. The reality is you're going to be diluted at some point. Do not lie to yourself. No one knows how this is going to play out, myself included. I'm just giving you my most likely scenario. I would love to see APE tied to future businesses as far as whether it's popcorn, credit card related, merchandise related, anything along those lines. APE merchandise. I mean, that makes a lot of sense as I'm just sitting here spitballing. And like I said, at the end of the day, APE gives us the best chance to get rid of shorts, and we don't want that value crushed by everybody selling. I'm not going to trust other institutions or momentum traders or anything like that to come in and provide value to APE. We have already done so with our hard-earned money. And last but not least, of course, I believe in AA as far as Adam Aaron doing what is best in the interest of AMC. I hope this video was helpful to you. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for taking the time out of your evening, day, whatever, to listen to my thoughts. Everything that I put out is truly, and I mean it from the bottom of my heart, always trying to help, okay? I might be wrong, I might be right, but at the end of the day, I'm giving you what I believe, okay? So if you're tuning into my channel, that's what you're always going to get. Good, bad, ugly, doesn't matter. You're going to get my honest opinion. I hope you have a wonderful evening. Thank you again. I will see you in the Twitter world, on the YouTube, all that good stuff. And we'll figure out, I'll get some more technical analysis videos out, but this video was dedicated to, my opinion in the controversy of APE. I hope you have a good one, my friends. I'll see you soon. And be kind. Don't be one of those people. Be kind.